Hi guys, so today I wanted to speak about the team I would play in the first ODI on Friday against South Africa. You can see up on the screen, I'll probably just go through it a little bit. So we've got Imam al Haq at the top, a great ODI player. He's got an average of 50 plus. He's that sort of solid rock that you can depend on. He's going to score the runs. I think he's one of the most disrespected players, which I don't understand why. Obviously, we know he's Inzamam's nephew and he gets, abused because that. He's only in the team because of that. And just look at the stat. Even if you look before he played, he was like one of the top performers in list day cricket in Pakistan and in general in all formats. Maybe apart from T20, but he was a top performer and he got picked because of performance, not because he was, his nephew. So yeah, 100%. And also about Imam, if you look back in 2 years, in 2018 when Pakistan toured, he had the highest average of all the players. He had an average of 54 in South Africa. In the 5 matches, he scored 102 50s. So it shows that he was in those conditions, he was very successful. Same, we've got Fakhar Zaman. Obviously, he's had a poor sort of run in T20 cricket, and we haven't really. Pakistan haven't played much ODI cricket after the World Cup. They've only played 5 games. The last series was against Zimbabwe, so it wasn't really a top team. So it was hard to judge, and we haven't played much cricket. So I think that with the players in the squad, I'd pick him, and I wouldn't drop him as yet. In terms of he's had bad T20 form, but I don't like crossing formats because if you look at his ODI record overall, he's got an average of 45 and strikes at 95. So it's really important to have a bit more of an attacking player with Imam because Imam's strike rate's only career strike rate is 81, I think, around there. So a good fucker is a bit high, very good 95, and he's consistent. Look, average of 45. He's a player for big games. We all know what he did in the Champions Trophy. So yeah. And then at 3 we got Barbarossa. I don't think I need to say anything about Barbarossa. One of the best in the world, consistent captain. Nothing really much else to say. Heather Ali, I think in there it's good to have a little bit of a mix. If you not too long ago, people were criticizing the team, were saying there was too many sort of similar players. Even in the T20, in the T20 team, there was too many sort of similar players. When Barber hadn't really adapted like he has now and plays at a lot higher strike rate in T20 cricket, he was sort of going at a sort of a similar pace, not playing too fast. There was him, there was Rizwan, there was Haris Sohail also in the T20 team at one time, and there was quite a lot of criticism. I think even in this team here, we haven't played much cricket, so it's hard to judge. But I think a player like Heather Ali will be good at. I think at 4, that's where he batted against Zimbabwe. He batted at 4, and he's obviously more in the PSL. He's been in T20 cricket. He's been batting a little bit lower, and he's been successful. So I think that's a good place for him. I think number 4. Mohammad Rizwan at 5. Again, that is his Mohammad Rizwan's bats at 5 as well in ODI cricket. Oh, against Zimbabwe, that's where he was batting. We've seen his recent form that is just, in the shorter format. If you look in 2019, he averaged 49 at strike rate of 90, average of 49. So it's very consistent and, really did change his game. So at 6, we got Danish Aziz, who would be a debutant. Pakistan has struggled with the number 6 for a while now in the short format. We've had sort of Iftikhar in ODI cricket and then sort of Hushdil in T20 cricket. Iftikhar hasn't really impressed me. He's been very inconsistent. Not really sure. He's sort of failed. And a player of his age, if there's someone else that's there, I would rather try them, which is Danish Aziz. And if you look at Danish Aziz's list day record, he has an average of 38 and he's in strike rate of 88. Now, we haven't seen much of him. He hasn't even played in the PSL, but what I've seen him for Sindh, he's a bit more of a, maybe like a 4 or 5. But unfortunately, I think in this team, can't really get to a spot of 4 or 5. I think his best shot is 6. Maybe he is really good at, if he came in last 10 overs or whatever, even last 15, if the top have really batted well and he comes a little bit later. But I think that, with with those stats and even recent form, if you look at in list day cricket, he's got 5, but he got 65. He got 28, which Sindh won in that 28. 101 not out, where he came in when Sindh were, I think, around 80 for 4 or something like that. And he came in and scored 101 not out. Before that was 46 not out. And before that was, he didn't bat in the game before that. And then he scored a 52. So it shows that he's in good form recently. And I think in the squad, I think I'd rather have him than Asif Ali in the squad in this series. We've got Shadab, unfortunately he's been injured recently. He's been ill as well. So I think he should be back in there. I think in this team we can only play one spinner. I think in the way we're playing in South Africa, the way the dynamic is, I think you'd have to play him. He's an all-rounder as well. He's been back. I haven't seen him much, so he's improved his batting throughout his career, but we haven't really seen him recently, so it'd be good to see him. As it's in South Africa, I would be looking to play 4 fast bowlers with the 3 fast bowlers and the all-rounder with Fahim. He's really improved his bowling, but his batting even more. He's worked with Mohammad Yusuf. We've seen how good he's been batting in tests. His bowling's improved. If you look unfortunately, we haven't played much ODI cricket, but if you look in the T20s in New Zealand, he bowled really well. He was taking wickets as well. He wasn't just like economy or just, he was actually attacking. So it'd be good to see him, especially in South Africa. We've got Hassan Ali in there. He's obviously been injured recently. It would be good for the first game. This is the team I'd play, but I definitely look to rotate and stuff. His batting as well. He scored a 59 against South Africa last time. I remember he came in and he scored a 59. So I think he's a bit of an underrated batsman as well. He's definitely not an all-rounder, but I think his batting is underrated. Then we've got Shaheen Afridi, I think our best bowler in all formats. He's world class. Bowled very well against South Africa last time. If you look, I think ODI currently is his best format. He's taken 45 wickets in 22 games, average of 21 and a strike rate of 24.5. So this is definitely at the moment his best format. He's played, taking the most wickets and everything, and he's been most successful. And then we've got Mohammad Hasnain. I think he's one of the most improved bowlers. He's quick, which is not one of the things I think recently, for some reason, a lot of people and like even Mohammad Wasim, he's been talking about fast bowling, but it's been a bit like 140 plus, but where's the skills, you know what I mean? If you look at Mohammad Hasnain, he's got really good, in swinging is his natural delivery, it's quick, he's got good Yorkers, and one thing I've seen recently, he's only 20 years old, he's really matured in his bowling IQ. And what I mean by that, if you actually see him, specifically when I saw him bowl, it was a tour game against New Zealand. It was Pakistan Shaheens versus New Zealand A. And I was watching him bowl, and also Haris Rauf was also bowling from the other end. And if you watch him bowl, he bowled like a quick, really quick deliveries, like fast pace. It was like a dot. But the exact same delivery, similar line length, got hit for a 4. Straight away you realise, okay, this pitch is not for bowling, one pace really quick, I need to change it up. Next ball, it's like slower ball, Yorker, changing it up, and then he took a wicket eventually. So you very quickly realise, okay, this pitch is not for bowling 100%, like putting in really fast deliveries, because you're going to get sent, so, and then if you look at the opposite end, Haris Rauf was bowling after, he got hit for 4 boundaries or 3-4 boundaries, bowling the exact same delivery down the leg side. And he's a lot more older and he's played more cricket, and you would have expect Haris Rauf to be bowling better. So he's very intelligent bowler. I want to quickly go through the squad as well, just in general. We've got Abdullah Shafiq, hasn't played any. He'd be a debutant. I don't really think he should be in the team, but that's a different subject. We got Sofraz. Hearing Sofraz could actually be in the 11. Just this morning I read on Twitter that apparently he's going to actually be in the 11. So that'll be interesting. Asif Ali's in there as well. I wouldn't, we've got Danish Aziz. I would like to try him as much as possible. I think you got to look for that 2023 World Cup. Asif Ali, I don't think he's at that long term. He's, Danish Aziz is 25. Asif Ali is I think 30 or just over 30. He's not really been performing consistently. He didn't play well in the T20s against South Africa. So yeah, we've got Mohammad Nawaz, very good. He's been improved. He's been back and he's very improved batting wise and bowling. He does a really good job. I think he can bowl in T20 cricket and ODI cricket. He can bowl at any phase of the game. Early on, he can bowl with the new ball and in the middle overs as well. So yeah, we've got Mohammad Nawaz. We've got Mohammad Wasim Jr. He's played one list day game. I'm not going to comment on that. Usman Qadir. I would have Usman Qadir in this team, but I think as is in South Africa, I would play 4 for the first game. I think I would definitely, if Pakistan win, because I think South Africa team might be. I think South Africa's team is a lot less experienced than the last team, and Pakistan only lost 3-2, and one of those losses was Duckworth Lewis. So I think I would put him in definitely, not in the first game, but I would put him in for Fahim more than likely in the second or the third or whatever. Haris Roof in there, I would rotate him as well. Like I talked about Shaheen. Shaheen will not be either. Would never play him like all 3 games. I'd play in the first one, see win, lose, see how he's like. Obviously, we don't know Singham exactly what he's like fitness wise, but I'd definitely swap him in for Haris Roof and just experiment, or Hassan Ali as well. With the recent injuries. So yeah, that's my breakdown of the team I think I should play. What team do you think they should play? Which players should be in with this squad? Which players do you think should play? I'm hearing Safraz is going to play at 5 and then Rizwan at 4. Rizwan will be fielding and Safraz will be keeping. I don't know what sort of team balance that's going to go with Rizwan and Safraz in the team. It's going to be confusing, but hope you guys enjoy the video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, all of that. Share the video, and I see you soon.